Are you truly ready to step through the doorway to a $1 billion jackpot? Because if you're here right now, watching this moment unfold, I need you to understand this is not entertainment. This is a divine appointment. Something in your frequency, something in your spirit, was drawn to this exact moment. For a reason. And over the next few minutes, 6 sacred numbers will be revealed. These aren't just lucky numbers. They are codes, energetic keys designed to unlock wealth, restore clarity, and align your life with a level of divine abundance that's been waiting for you. Leo, this message isn't about chance. It's about timing, and yours couldn't be more perfect. Between September 1st and 3rd, a powerful cosmic triad is forming. The full moon in Pisces is dissolving old emotional debris, awakening your intuitive gifts. Mercury retrograde in Virgo is pushing you to reevaluate your habits, financial, mental, and physical. And above all, Venus is now moving direct through your sign. That means the door to prosperity, beauty, and love is swinging open for you, not in theory, but in reality. And when I say jackpot, I don't just mean money though. Yes, this energy supports massive financial activation. I mean a jackpot of clarity, purpose, self-trust, and spiritual restoration. The kind that reminds you who you've always been beneath the pressure, beneath the performance. Someone chosen. Someone called. Someone destined for more than survival. You didn't click on this video by accident. You were magnetized here because your higher self is ready to stop shrinking. Ready to stop waiting. Ready to receive. And that's what this space, eternal mindfulness, is for, to help you return to what's already true about you. That your energy creates your reality. That the universe responds to your vibration, not your effort. That faith is a frequency, and abundance is simply a mirror. So, before we move forward, take a moment. Breathe in. Breathe out. And ask yourself, which number has been following me? Which number makes me feel something in my chest, my gut, my knowing? Now take that number and comment it below. That one small act tells the universe, I see the pattern. I accept the message. I'm ready to receive. Let me take a moment here to offer you my deepest gratitude for being here. Every comment you leave, every like you tap, every time you subscribe to this channel, you're not just helping eternal mindfulness reach more people. You're anchoring light into your own life. You're not a passive viewer. You are a co-creator in this sacred exchange. And believe me, Leo want to stay until the very last moment of this video. Because what the universe is about to reveal next will shift how you see everything. Now tell me, my radiant Leo, what did you do to summon this message to you today? Stay with me. We're just getting started. The moment you begin to see numbers not as random digits but as frequencies, everything shifts. The 6 numbers we're about to explore aren't just symbolic. They are deeply encoded invitations, gateways into a specific alignment of your energy with the movement of the cosmos. When I said earlier that this isn't just a reading but a revelation, I meant that the wisdom in each number has already been traveling beside you. Some have whispered to you in the quiet moments. Some showed up on receipts, clocks, or dreams. Others lived in your hesitation, your choices, your moments of surrender. These numbers aren't arriving to change you. They're showing up to reflect who you've already become and to call out what's been quietly waiting inside you to rise. You see, Leo, the days between September 1st and 3rd are not just marked on the calendar. They're etched in frequency. With the full moon in Pisces illuminating the unseen, and Mercury retrograde drawing your attention back to what you've overlooked or silenced, and Venus finally moving direct in your own sign, you are not being pushed forward, you are being drawn inward. Inward to clarity. Inward to remembrance. These three astrological shifts are not coincidental. Together, they form a cosmic invitation to strip away the noise and hear again what has always been true about you, that your value was never tied to speed, noise, or external proof. Your value is in your presence. And now, as you stand before this energetic portal, these 6 numbers are speaking to that exact part of you, the part that still believes in transformation, even after disappointment. The part that still opens the curtains every morning, even when the light feels heavy. In the same way a seed contains the entire architecture of a tree, these numbers carry within them patterns of healing, of wisdom, of alignment. Think of them as sacred coordinates, not to chase something outside of yourself, but to guide you into a deeper resonance with who you truly are. And this process isn't loud. It's not performative. It's more like the way you exhale after holding your breath too long. Or the stillness you feel when you finally put down the weight you didn't realize you were carrying. What makes this energy especially potent is that it invites action through stillness. These aren't numbers that demand you strive harder. They call you to move differently. To choose differently. To hold yourself with more reverence. And sometimes that means checking your bank account with gratitude instead of fear. Or preparing a meal not as a task, but as an offering. Sometimes it means finally saying no without apology. Or saying yes to something you've long postponed because you kept waiting for the right moment. These subtle shifts are sacred. And when they are done in harmony with the energy these numbers bring, they become magnetic. I know that in the day-to-day of life, in the rush, the responsibility, the endless notifications, it's easy to disconnect from the rhythm of your own being. But these numbers are here to bring you back. Back to your inner compass. Back to your awareness. And back to the truth that your life is not random. There is structure in the mystery. There is order in the unseen. And just like a farmer plants seeds without demanding immediate fruit, you are being called to plant the seeds of wealth, peace, and grounded joy. Simply because you know the harvest will come. So let's walk slowly together through these 6 energies, not to get somewhere fast, but to remember what it feels like to be in full energetic alignment with your destiny. Let's begin. When we arrive at the energy of the number 14, something subtle but powerful begins to unfold. There is a common misconception that freedom must feel like chaos or boundlessness, that in order to be free, one must resist structure. But in reality, the deepest form of freedom often reveals itself through rhythm, alignment, and deliberate boundaries. Imagine a bird in midair, its wings fully extended. It isn't flapping wildly or escaping the wind. Instead, it's gliding, mastering the currents, knowing exactly when to rise, when to rest, and when to adjust its form to stay in flow. That's the essence of this number. True freedom isn't found in resisting limits, it's found in knowing which ones allow you to thrive. Leo, as someone born under a sign known for its boldness, warmth, and magnetic presence, the number 14 speaks to you like a gentle reminder from within. It calls for discipline, not restriction, clarity, not rigidity. Especially now, as Mercury continues its retrograde path through Virgo, you are being invited to re-examine how spontaneity has served to sabotage your financial habits and your physical well-being. Have you been chasing financial quick fixes at the expense of long-term structure? Have you ignored your body's whispering signs in the name of productivity or pride? This is the moment to pause and reset, not because you've failed, but because you're ready to move with more wisdom. The number 14 weaves the elements of 1 and 4 together: leadership and foundation. This is where inspired action meets steady ground. In the realm of finances, that may mean setting a spending limit not to withhold joy, but to honor your bigger dreams. It might be choosing to cancel a recurring subscription so that you can redirect that energy towards something that nourishes your future. In health, this could look like creating a rhythm of mindful movement, perhaps 10 minutes of stretching before bed, or a weekend yoga class that isn't about performance, but reconnection. The small decisions you make now are like tiny hinges that open massive doors later. The beauty of number 14 is that it doesn't demand perfection. It simply asks you to begin noticing. Use a timer to build awareness of how long tasks truly take. Journal how your body feels after certain meals, certain conversations, certain environments. Become the quiet observer of your own life, not to critique, but to gain clarity. This is how self-leadership grows, not from pressure, but from presence. And when you operate from presence, your actions become clean, your habits sacred. There's an important truth that emerges here, one often forgotten in the rush of everyday life: structure can be a form of love. It tells your nervous system, "I've got you." It tells your inner child, "You're safe to explore." It tells your dreams, "You matter enough for me to make room." In the same way a farmer builds a fence not to imprison the garden, but to protect what is growing, your boundaries exist not to hold you back but to hold you together. So as this number enters your field, ask yourself with compassion, who or what have I allowed to invade my peace? Where have I blurred the lines between giving and overgiving? Between rest and avoidance? Between connection and obligation? These aren't questions to shame you, they are invitations to remember that your energy is sacred, and that protecting it is not selfish, it's strategic. Even in the busyness of life, in the errands, in the noise, in the tasks that never seem to end, there is space for sacred order. That order begins with one quiet decision: to create space for what matters. You don't have to rearrange your entire world. Just begin where you are. Because that's where freedom is waiting. There is a quiet power in the number 071 that doesn't shout or dazzle, but instead glows steadily like a lantern held in the dark. It doesn't try to steal your attention, it waits until you are still enough to notice. This number is less about what you chase and more about what you begin to receive once you surrender the need to chase it all. In the context of the energy surrounding Leo between September 1st and 3rd, the vibration of 07 invites you into a new kind of wealth, one rooted not in control or calculation, but in trust, intuition, and service. And perhaps most radically, in rest. This is a time when the universe is asking you to step back so that what is meant for you can finally catch up. It's no accident that this number appears just as the full moon in Pisces casts its ethereal glow across your emotional landscape. This particular lunation softens your mental edges and widens your heart's perception, helping you see where your worth has been defined too long by output, results, or perfectionism. The 07 energy says clearly, your greatest abundance is already orbiting you, but to receive it, you must make room. Not with effort, but with stillness. In finance, 07 doesn't offer you a shortcut to $1 million. It gives you something more enduring, a divine nudge to follow what calls to you from the inside. Maybe it's a creative project you've placed on the shelf. Maybe it's a collaboration that felt too risky before. Or maybe it's a moment when you serve someone, give without guarantee, and open a channel for reciprocity that goes far beyond money. In the logic of the world, this sounds naive. But in the language of energetic alignment, this is how true wealth begins. Be trusting that the value you pour into others, into your craft, into your quiet purpose, will find its way back to you in a form you may not even expect. Your physical well-being is part of this message too. When the soul is restless, the body holds the tension. And Leo, you've carried the weight of being strong for so long. You shine so brightly, others forget to ask if you're okay. But the body remembers what you've held back. That's why the medicine of this number is rest, not collapse, but intentional recalibration. Consider a social media fast. A sunrise walk without headphones. 5 minutes of morning stillness with nothing to prove. These moments don't fix everything, but they open the door for clarity to re-enter. And clarity, in the right moment, is worth more than gold. There's also a deeper invitation here to look at the ways you've helped others without receiving anything in return. Perhaps you've given time, energy, or love that was never acknowledged. The world may not have noticed, but the energy did. And number 07 whispers this truth gently: what you gave was never lost. It became part of a greater balance. And now, that balance is shifting. Something is being returned not as compensation, but as confirmation. You planted a seed without asking for a harvest. Now the harvest is on its way. This isn't about waiting passively. It's about learning to receive with open hands instead of clenched fists. It's about creating an atmosphere in your life where grace can enter. You don't have to solve everything right now. You only have to clear enough space for what's already meant for you to land. The number 07 reminds you that the light is always there. But sometimes, you have to dim the noise to find your way by feel, not force. So rest, trust, and let the next step emerge on its own. Because it will. And when it does, it won't be loud, but it will feel like home. And now, as we gently transition from the sacred frequency of 07 into the grounded resonance of 41, I invite you to pause and feel this shift. If 07 was the flickering lantern of spiritual intuition, then 41 is the vault door clicking open, not with force, but with rhythm. This is the number of foundational abundance, of creating a life not just filled with miracles, but supported by systems that allow those miracles to grow roots. Imagine a vault secure, heavy, yet capable of opening with the right rhythm. Not a code made of numbers, but of habits. A steady heartbeat. A mind aligned. A nervous system regulated. A home environment that breathes peace. That's what number 41 whispers to you: build a system that beats with your truth, and it will protect your treasures, both earthly and divine. Financially, this is not about sudden jackpots. It's not the thrill of scratching a winning ticket. This is something more enduring. The message here is, the steady money that flows into your life is not luck. It's the echo of routines you chose. It's the return of boundaries you built. It's the interest accrued on the self-respect you deposited month after month, year after year. If you've been working on better budgeting, learning to say no, to impulsive spending, automating your savings or organizing your bills into categories. This energy honors you. You may not see flashy results at first. But 41 isn't about the noise. It's about what continues to grow while the world sleeps. It's about becoming the kind of person who is never surprised by a blessing because you've already made space for it. In the realm of self-care, this number speaks to the nervous system, your inner electricity. You might feel called to support your body with the B-complex vitamins that nourish your adrenals, or perhaps you need deeper rest than you've allowed yourself. Notice how your energy fluctuates when you overcommit or skip meals. Maybe you don't need another productivity hack. Maybe what you need is permission to create a gentle system that protects your energy like a vault protects its gold. From an astrological lens, this energy resonates with the influence of Saturn in its nurturing phase. Saturn, often feared for its discipline, becomes your mentor when you embrace its lessons. It teaches us that responsibility is not restriction, it's liberation. True freedom comes from knowing you've structured your life in a way that doesn't collapse when emotions rise or the market shifts. Saturn rewards the ones who do the quiet, consistent work. The ones who don't just visualize wealth but prepare for it with reverence. And so I ask you gently, what financial habits are still draining your power? What system, no matter how small, can you put in place this week to honor your future self? Could you create an automatic savings transfer, or organize your spending into categories that align with your soul values? Sometimes it's not about how much we earn, it's about how well we preserve what we've been given. This is your invitation to share in the comments a habit you're ready to release, or a system you want to build. I will hold sacred space for you. As your guide, I honor your process and I believe in your potential. Because when you align your rhythms with purpose, the vault opens. Not with noise. Not with drama. But with a soft, powerful click. And what's behind that vault door? Peace. Security. Legacy. The kind that doesn't just bless you but blesses everyone who walks through the systems you've built. The kind that turns your life into a blueprint for others to follow. Let your heartbeat lead. Let your routines reflect your self-worth. Let the quiet power of 41 rebuild the financial sanctuary you deserve. Just when you thought the journey was about your own breakthrough, the universe brings you to the most profound realization: your wealth is not just yours. It echoes. It expands through you. And this is where the numbers 0, 2, and 33 weave a golden thread through the fabric of your next chapter. After the discipline of structure in number 41, you're now invited into the softer, more soulful art of co-creation. If 07 was your inner light and 41 your stable vault, then 02 and 33 are the open hands reaching out, one to give, one to receive. Number 02 is subtle but powerful. It speaks of the people you've loved, the ones you've lost, and even those you've left conversations unfinished with. You may be surprised how many blessings are held up in the energy of a simple, "I'm sorry," or "thank you," that was never spoken. Sometimes, financial abundance doesn't come from a bank, a job, or a lottery. It comes from an energetic restoration between two people who were once connected, and are now being gently brought back together by divine timing. Ask yourself, is there someone you've been thinking about lately? A memory resurfacing for no obvious reason? That may not be coincidence. It may be a soul contract circling back for closure, or reconnection. And then comes 33, the master healer number. This number doesn't just promise you a miracle, it asks you to become one. Not in a dramatic, world-changing way, but in the small, sacred choices you make daily. To be kind even when it's not returned. To hold space for someone else's tears, even when yours haven't yet dried. To whisper encouragement into the heart of another who might just be one kind word away from giving up. That is the essence of 33. Together, 0, 2 and 3 remind you, wealth is meant to be witnessed, not hoarded. If you win but no one celebrates with you, have you really won? And if money multiplies but the joy is not shared, what kind of riches are those? True prosperity reverberates. It's a warm meal for someone in need, a call to someone you've neglected, a gift sent anonymously that only your heart will ever know you gave. This is the paradoxical path to miracles. Give when you think you have little, and watch what grows. Psychologically, giving is one of the most healing practices in emotional therapy. When people stuck in loops of anxiety or scarcity begin to tithe, whether time, money, or love, they often report unexpected peace. It's as if generosity rewires the nervous system to believe again in flow, in possibility, in enoughness. From a neuroscience perspective, gratitude and generosity activate the same reward pathways in the brain as winning the lottery. The universe knew this when it encoded 0, 2 and 33 as energetic keys for unlocking abundance. So I'll ask you now, as gently and sincerely as I can, if today you were given more than enough, what would you do with it? Who would be the first person you'd call? Who would you bless, not because they earned it, but because you could? These are not sentimental questions. They are portals. Walk through them. Act on them. Write that thank you letter. Share a small portion of what you have, even if it's just a cup of coffee or a kind word. The universe notices energy before it sees numbers. And remember this, no one wins the jackpot alone. If you're seeing this, it means your time is near. But more importantly, it means your heart is being prepared to carry the miracle with grace. Comment below, who would you bless first if wealth arrived tomorrow? Your answer may be the very vibration that opens your vault. And now, as you exhale and feel this message settle deeper into your being, I want to remind you of something sacred. You were never waiting for someone to hand you the keys to a vault of riches. You have always been the key. You have always been the code. The numbers that showed up today, 41, 02, 33, weren't random digits, but rather reflections of your inner readiness, your courage to rebuild your systems, your desire to reconnect, and your deep heart wish to rise not alone, but with others. This journey wasn't about what you've lacked. It was about what you're now prepared to receive. You see, abundance doesn't chase the unready. It recognizes the ones who've cleared space, who've aligned their energy, who've forgiven, given thanks, and taken that one small action that told the universe, I'm ready now. You're not here by accident. This moment, this message, this magnetic pull, it's your soul confirming what your mind may still be doubting. You are in the exact right place at the exact right time. The vault has always existed. The light inside it isn't gold, it's you. The fortune is your courage. And the jackpot? It's the alignment of your values, your heart, and your mission. So I ask you this, which number spoke loudest to your soul today? Was it the frequency of steady structure? The call for reconnection? The miracle that waits to rise when you rise for someone else? Go ahead, write it below. Anchor it. Claim it. Not from a but for your future self who will look back on this moment as the pivot point. If this video found you exactly when you needed it, if something stirred within you, even just a spark, then consider liking it and subscribing to this channel, Eternal Mindfulness, so I can continue to send these messages directly to your heart's doorstep. You're not just a seeker anymore. You're the one who opens the door. And when you walk through it, you carry a ripple that blesses others too. Until we meet again in the next awakening. Stay open, stay aware, and always remember you are never walking this path alone.